Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Vegan Spirituality Online Gathering. My name's Lisa Levinson, and I'm one of your hosts for the evening. I help start Vegan Spirituality, which is actually a movement to explore veganism as a spiritual practice. And we do this on this online gathering once I should say every blue moon, but it's every other month. And we gather together from wherever we are in all corners of the globe. But we also have some in person meetings, which are starting to come back now after the pandemic. And you can find a local group if you'd like to join and meet people in your area at veganspirituality.com. Another really special announcement I have today is that we are very excited because our long awaited Vegan Spirituality Forum and Retreat is happening very shortly. If you're with us today, it's September 9th, and our retreat will be happening on October 1st through 3rd. We've been planning this for years, and after the pandemic, we are now having it in person. So we'll be very uh, excited to meet together and to gather. And the purpose of this retreat will be really to hone some of our vegan advocacy skills in the spiritual and religious communities. So we're encouraging everybody to come and to learn more about faith-based vegan advocacy. And we'll have some very special treats for you during this wonderful bonding event. There will be a spiritual service. There will be a wonderful gathering and a blessing of the animals, which is a ritual that we do at our retreats. And we have some of our special guest speakers from the retreat who are featuring today. So I'm going to invite my co host, Judy Carmen, who is the author of Peace to All Beings, to tell you a little more and introduce you to our special guests.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everybody. Well, we have got some real movers and shakers with us tonight, and both of them are going to be at the vegan retreat that Lisa just told us all about. So we are super excited to have both Gigi Jones, Gigi the vegan, and Charlotte Cressey with us tonight. So I'm going to start out by introducing Gigi, and then we'll hear from Charlotte. But first, Gigi is an author, a vegan raw food chef, a certified health educator, and entrepreneur in Kansas City who started a wonderful, healthy vegan restaurant. And it's called Gigi's Vegan and Wellness Cafe. She also has invented Gigi's Kale Chips, and she also has a 21-day detox program and she organizes the Midwest Soul Veg Fest that happens every year, which is a health education and plant-based event to promote lifestyle change. And there'll be some great speakers there. This is going to happen a week after our vegan spirituality retreat that Lisa just talked about in Kansas City. So if you can stay in Kansas City for that, or if you live nearby, it's going to be wonderful. I've been to one of them and it was just awesome. She's on a mission to help educate her community with a focus on well-being of children and the importance of healthy lifestyle change. So Gigi, we are just thrilled to have you with us. My first question is, we want to know about the meals that you're going to bring to the vegan retreat, and you're going to actually demonstrate how to make what you're bringing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm super excited about that. And by the way, thank you all for having me today. I'm super excited to be here and be a part of what you're doing in the community here in Kansas City. I am super excited just to bring some creative ideas to making simple plant-based meals. And I plan to demonstrate how to make a raw version of hummus. Isn't that delicious? Everyone likes hummus, right? Because you can use hummus as a dip. You can actually use it in making different wraps, which we'll be making a kale wrap out of avocado tortilla. Isn't that special?
Wow, that sounds
And it's good
awesome.
for us too, right? Very good, very good. So I'm super excited about that and being able to demonstrate just something simple that you can make, and then you can build from that and create more ideas, pull more from what I'd be demonstrating at your event. So I'm super excited. And it's good for you, right? Kale, superfood. Hummus made of chickpeas. Oh, perfect. And you can make it spicy or cheesy hummus. Who ever heard of cheesy hummus? We're going to create some. So join me.
Yes, that
Absolutely.
will be so great. And that's going to be Thursday evening, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So anyone who gets there on Thursday, this is going to be great. We're going to have Gigi's meals. You're actually going to bring them with you and then show everybody how you did it.
That's right. And you'll be able to eat and taste and sample, and also have a nice meal while you see how the meal is processed. And it's very simple. Afterwards, you'll have the recipe so you can take it home and prepare at home as well. So this is something that you can use long term. And it's going to be exciting and fun, and we're going to eat together. So that's going to be a great evening. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone there. So this is going to be great. Great evening.
It is. I'm looking forward to it so much. And I'm so glad that you're coming and going to do this for us, because I think a lot of us want to get even healthier. We start out with veganism, and then we start learning more and more about raw and how to be really healthy on it. So, and that's kind of your specialty at your restaurant, sounds like.
Absolutely, it is. And Judy, the reason why I wanted to create something simple, because I know a lot of times people that want to live this lifestyle, plant-based veganism, and it's overwhelming. It's too many items to go to the store to purchase. And it's so overwhelming that they give up, So I like to teach basic ingredients, and then delicious ingredients. And that way, and flavorful, by the way, and you can build from there. And then you can have some tools that you can take home and you can work with and say, hey, I was able to create this delicious dish. Now, let me add a little this to it or a little that. Let me make it my own, And that's what's so super fun about it, is that you have a recipe you can take home with you, and you can create this basic hummus and wraps, and you can use this recipe as your own, and it's buildable. That's what's so fun about it. It's buildable. And this is what we do. And we teach small classes like this here at Gigi's Vegan Cafe. And this is something that we do here. Not only do we specialize or prepare cooked meals, but we also have living foods, and that's what I call raw, mostly living foods here at the cafe, from veggie burgers to wraps, salads, lasagna, the list kind of goes on. And we have cold pressed juice as well. So while they're in town and looking for somewhere to go and eat, welcome to come here at Gigi's. And we're located right in Westport. And we'd love to have you, because it's always a great day at Gigi's Vegan Cafe.
So how can people find you? Just put it on their phone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you can call the cafe 816-605-1819. That's very easy. 816-605-1819. And you can look us up on the website, and that's www.gigisvegancafe.com.
Great.
Yes, very simple. And we're located right in the heart of Old Westport.
Okay, great.
Old Westport, right here in Kansas City, Missouri.
That's a good location.
Oh, it's a fun location.
Yeah, right.
It's a fun location, and it is a great community and it's historic, and so Westport have been in different types of battles right here in Westport. I had no idea.
Right.
I had no idea when we moved in. So there's a lot of history in Westport, a lot of good history. So I'm excited to be here. We've been open here in Westport for first year, so July 16th. So we're super excited.
Well, you're making history there.
Well, we're doing the best that we can, and Judy, we're all in this thing together. We really are, we really are. And as you say, it's all about, I believe food is spiritual. We're spiritual beings, and everything that we intake into our bodies and our minds should be more on the spiritual, I believe, consciousness,
Yeah.
and we become very conscious about what we do, what we eat, how we live, because I think that, we're definitely all connected. And the animals are not just here for us to control and to, where it's about love. So, and we want to be able to demonstrate that. And this is how we do that, having compassion.
It is all about love. You're so right, Gigi.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the Soul Veg Fest that you're having. The actual date is what?
It's October 9th. October
Okay.
9th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located right in Swope Park, 63rd and Swope Park. Will be located at the Pavilion. We're really excited about that. We try to put this on annually. This is something that I had been dreaming about for several years, because when you look at obesity in children, heart disease, and especially in the African American community, COVID, it's just the numbers are just astounding. What's happening in our community, and I figured, where is the education coming from? How can I help? How can I assist in this? And I know, in my community, when you talk about music, dance, and fun, Veg Fest kind of about, here's the way they get the education out there, right? We're gonna have some fun. Having fun while educating the community. I've had people from our first Veg Fest come back and say, you know what, I've changed my life because I heard Dr. Milton speak, which Dr. Milton would be at your event this year. And he talked about how dairy is killing us. It's killing our community, and especially the children. And she said that day she took all of her kids off any type of dairy product and meat. And so I know now this event works, that it works. And not only that, I know that we had, you volunteered that year and helped us out with the kids. And, to hear that after, when the parents went through that program, and for them to say, I'm changing my lifestyle, I'm changing my kids' lifestyle. My child has diabetes, at 8 years old. That's, to me, something's wrong there. The message is not being delivered, or it's not being delivered where where that group of people could hear it and understand it. So something's not working. And now this event started, and we're expecting roughly about 8,000 people to attend. We have the schools that has been helping us with marketing to get the kids and mothers there to attend this event, and just get the education out there as much as possible, and hoping that people will really start to look at their life a little bit different and say, it's time to heal on so many different levels. It's really time to heal myself, because a lot of times the way that we eat is associated with the way that we were brought up. My grandmother did this, my great grandmother ate like this, and so on and so forth. And now it's time to break that, that chain, so to speak, and create a new world, because we are going into a new world, and create this new lifestyle for not just for your children, but your children's generation to come. And this is how we break that cycle. And we have doctors coming in. We have a cardiologist coming in from Atlanta. Of course, Dr. Milton Mills is coming back. We have a local 14-year-old that is vegan, and she will be speaking and talking about her experience and how she doesn't need protein, animal protein, and how spiritually, how she's connected now more so to animals and know that they have feelings like we do, and experiencing that. And she said she'll never, ever, think of harming any of God's creatures ever again, and really educating her parents. And she wants to educate her community and her, peers. And so it's going to be a really, really great event. The mayor is coming out and he's speaking, our mayor here, Quentin Lucas, and we're excited about that. And we have some local entertainment that will be performing. But the main events center around education and educating our children. And children are getting, receive free food that day at Veg Fest, free plant-based meal from burgers to hot dogs, just to let them know that, you can still eat the same, but a little bit different. We're eating plants this time. Delicious plants.
Right.
And yeah, so we're super excited. And this is how we bring about change, right? This is how change starts.
Yes.
It has to start somewhere. And I tell you, I don't know what I was thinking at first. I'm like, oh, can I do this by myself? I have all these little hiccups. And then people, when you start something like this journey, Spirit sends people to help. So you're not on your own. And especially when you're doing what's right within your heart, then they'll show up and help you. So
that is so beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much. And I will be there. I wouldn't miss it for anything. So
thank you.
I will be there.
Thank you so much.
So we've got about a minute, but I want everybody to know that you have this 21-day detox program too. And
absolutely,
people can join that online, right?
Yes, they can join that online by going to gigithevegan.com. And I started the 21-day detox program after myself. I had colon cancer, and I was able to heal myself by eating plant-based food. And so I changed my lifestyle and was able to heal myself naturally by lifestyle change. I was one of those that ate like my mom did, my great grandmother, and who would have known that there was something ticking in my body, and that was going to alter my entire life, but my entire world around me. And so from self-healing, I decided to educate myself even more, dive further into health education, into holistic health, as well as spiritual health. And now I've created a program that have helped so many people. And I always say that this is the starting point in going plant-based or vegan, because a lot of times people try to go in and then they say, oh, I just couldn't do it. 3 months later, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But this is where the support comes in at, you know.
Right.
I'm here to support you the entire 21-day journey. And we just say, hey, let's just do a 21-day plant-based, you know.
Yeah.
Let's do this lifestyle change for 21 days. Let me challenge you to do that. And you know, you get recipes, you know, you have Mia support for the 21 days. You receive affirmations just to help you, you know, spiritually connect so that, you know, it's not so hard. It's not so hard. It's very easy. And
That's
it's delicious
amazing.
recipes as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're just doing phenomenal work, and I just
Thank you.
appreciate it so much. And I'm so thrilled that you could join us. And I'm going to, going to try to stay on time. So I'm going to introduce Charlotte now.
Yes.
But I will see you very soon. And I hope everybody that's listening in can maybe join us for the vegan retreat and also for your Veg Fest. It would be wonderful. So, all right. So Charlotte Cressey is our next guest, and she's also going to be at the retreat, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she's going to do there. She holds a master's degree in women's spirituality. As a vegan of 24 years, she is on a quest to manifest a vegan paradigm shift worldwide. Her radically unique, transformative teachings and experiential offerings embolden individuals to live their highest potential. Cressey has presented at conferences, universities, and schools nationwide, and is an active participant in the global movement to co-create a kinder world for all beings. Her forthcoming book is called The Vegan Paradigm Shift, and it distills her research of 20 plus years to help each person shift their perception of reality so they can harness their personal power to live their best life possible. Her business is called Embody Love, and it serves a broader vision to co-create a peaceful, harmonious existence for humans, animals, and the earth. So, Charlotte, welcome. We are just so grateful that you joined us. And we're so thrilled that you are also presenting at the Vegan Spirituality Retreat and Forum at Unity Village in October, as Lisa said. So please tell us about the workshop that you're offering, that you're calling Unlocking the Labyrinth as a Tool in Transformation. It sounds fascinating. And I think you have some screen sharing for us.
Yes, I do. We are going to launch into some Labyrinth lessons. I'm so grateful to be here. I want to thank each of the fabulous ladies, thanking Judy, Gigi, and Lisa for everything you're doing. And I want to welcome in everyone in the circle, whether you're listening in the future to the recording or those who are present with us, because although we're not together in person, time and space is an illusion. So we are actually creating, I want you to imagine that we're all in a circle. So oftentimes you go to a presentation and the person who's speaking is in the front and everyone's looking at each other's backs. I like to think of this as a co-created energy. So I'm actually a conduit for everything occurring, as are you. So I invite everyone to just like really tune in to the highest potential for yourself, for all of life, because together we are co-creating heaven on earth. All right. Okay. Everyone is present, accessing all of our inner resources. So we're opening up beyond what we're hearing. We're opening our inner ear. We're opening beyond our physical eyesight. We are opening our inner eye, our third eye, so that we can be exactly who we came to planet Earth to be. So today, I am delighted to share with you about the Labyrinth as a tool for what I call vegan alchemists. That means we work with energy and we shift things, and all change makers. Okay, so before we launch into that, let's talk a little bit about transformation, because everyone who's here on the planet, we are all here to evolve spiritually, to grow, right? And so how many of you want to create a change in your life? I want you to post in the chat, me, just something short and quick so you can continue to listen. If there's something you want to change, I just want you to write, you know, one quick little thing. Yeah, I want to change something, whether it's about yourself or the world. Okay, so before we launch into the Labyrinth, let's talk about, there are so many different tools for transformation, but transformation is different than change. And I want to really clarify here. You can change your hair color. You can change the way the furniture is arranged in your room. You can change your clothing. But what we all want is transformation, so that, like the butterfly, once the transformation is complete, there is no going back, right? So the butterfly does not say to her friend, the caterpillar, before she becomes a butterfly, doesn't pause and say to her friends, oh, excuse me, I'm going to look a little bit different when you see me again, or let me put an autoresponder on so that everyone can know I'm going within to find my true self and who I came here to be, right? They don't do that. They just take their space, take their time, they go within. So the Labyrinth and what we're sharing today, and in order to create all the amazing transformations that each of us, all of you on the call, including our co-hosts, all of that requires going within, right? It's action combined with introspection. So how do we know transformation is complete? How do we know we have become the butterfly? By the way, we're always evolving and growing, so it's never done. But you know the transformation is complete when you have shifted your beliefs about yourself and what you are capable of. That's number one here. Number two, your beliefs about life itself. Do you believe that the world supports you? Do you believe that it's a scary place or a beautiful place? Now, we'll get into later how that's often informed by whether or not we are participating in consuming animal products and participating in that, but we'll talk about paradigms a little bit later. Okay, so the first is yourself. Second one, your beliefs about the world. The third, oh, there shouldn't be a four there. It's 3 steps. The third is when your behavior demonstrates you're putting it into action, you're really starting to experience this, okay? And I do want to note that came from Dr. Claire Zammit, founder of Feminine Power. So I personally am irked when I hear a speaker and they don't foreground their ideas with what's your worldview, what are your assumptions? So in order to understand what I'm sharing with you today, I need to first set the tone so you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so firstly, I'm guessing most of you will kind of agree with this. First, that we are love embodied. So you're a spiritual being having a human experience. That's such a common phrase in spiritual communities. So that's basic. Number two is that you define the divine. We each come from different paths, but as I'm sharing today, just know that this transcends any type of religion, even if I may be quoting different traditions or using the word goddess a lot. We're taking questions at the end. I see a hand raised. There's more to reality than meets the eye. So in our mechanistic worldview and the industrialized world, we often think that everything is measurable, quantifiable in the physical realm. But how many of you, I can't see you, but you can just wave. I'll see you with my inner eye. How many of you have felt different energies, that there are whole worlds that we are not yet. Some of you are tuned into them. I know, I would guess most of us will not discover all of them in this lifetime. Okay, number 4, my assumption is that life itself, God, goddess, whatever you call it, if you call it love, you call it Mother Earth, it is for us, it is supporting us, it is for our greatest good. Number 5, evolution is the impulse of life. There is no problem, only solutions. And we are here to learn, to expand, and to grow. And so what we're talking about on the spiritual path and with veganism is for the perpetual increasing benefit and amplifying the power of humans as love embodied. 6, we live in a a participatory paradigm. What this means is that our thoughts, our energies, they co-create reality. But some of you who've studied law of attraction, I want to clarify, this is a co-created participatory paradigm. So I'm not saying that you have a thought and all of a sudden you have all the power to just change everything, right? We're all part of a web of life. But just to give a quick example, when I'm out hiking, I put my hands in the trails of the quails and I do prayers for them. Now I do that for them, but I also do it because I'm sending a vibration to the other humans, and humans are actually on a different frequency. They're connecting, oh, someone's honoring these animals, and it up levels other people's ability who are not connected to the animals. It up levels their ability to tune in to animals' feelings, like Gigi was talking about. So everything you do makes an impact. Now we are here to talk about labyrinths. So I'm going to go through a few pictures and I'm going to share about them. So in the chat, if you wish to do so, please just make a note, me or I have, if you've walked the labyrinth before. So first point about the labyrinth is that labyrinths are not to be confused with mazes. Okay, many people think that it's somewhere you get lost. Actually, it is the opposite. Labyrinths are much more about finding yourself. And there are myriad experiences when you walk a labyrinth. So I'm just going to be sharing some of the ones I've had, and I encourage you to go walk one and create your own relationship with them. So labyrinths mirror the inner journey of life. So what do I mean by that? There are certain patterns in the world. I'm sure you've heard many different quotes about the journey of life, the path of life, walking the path, whatever the path you're on, even the vegan path, right? And so the labyrinth is an opportunity to go within, and there's a few things that make it unique compared to just being anywhere else. So here's one. Sometimes they're painted, sometimes they're, you can put a canvas labyrinth down, rocks, hedges, all different types. And so it's symbolic in that you enter and depart in the same place. That is the same thing for life. My belief is we are born, we live, and we are reborn / we transition to a different form, right? Some other things that come up for people in labyrinths, you'll notice, is your pace. And that is one of the things that comes up in life, right? And one of the aspects of the dominator paradigm, which is caused by consuming, it's partly caused by our use of abusive animals, is and you'll have to read my book to get all the details on this. It's like I want to explain it, but I can't explain it all right now because we're talking about labyrinths. But one of the issues is we go into this efficiency, quicker, faster, quicker, faster. We created all these technologies thinking we're going to get more done. How many of you with more gadgets actually have less free time, less downtime? Wave your hands even if I can't see you. We're expected to respond within milliseconds, right? So this is a great tool to disengage, detach yourself, step back a little bit from that pressure to do. I want you to be, because it is your beingness that will allow you to create all the beauty that we are here to create together. So, other aspects of the labyrinth. It creates a sacred container. So you can go walking. I love hiking, I love running. You can go walking anywhere, but just like your body is a jeweled chalice that contains your soul, the sacred container of a labyrinth, there's a feeling tone to it that allows you to deepen within. And now, one of the foremothers of the labyrinth movement, Lauren Artrez, she speaks about 3 main aspects to labyrinths. Now, this may not be everyone's experience in a labyrinth, but I want to share them with you. And so the first one, this is the Chartres Labyrinth in France, the Chartres Cathedral. The first thing she says is we're letting go. She calls it purging. I like letting go. So for some people, you're just shedding, just like that snake. And snakes have the symbol of 3 as well, in terms of shedding their skin and then being born again. It's back to that birth, life, rebirth kind of theme. So the first aspect, you're letting go. And this is just one experience of labyrinths. The second is that you are, you get into the center, and it's what she calls illumination. So as you'll see, there's a center to the labyrinth, and some people have, I do all kinds of, you can tell I'm a very kinetic person. I like to move. So I do all kinds of different things. I might kiss the earth. You can do anything you want. That's the beautiful thing about labyrinths. Some places might have other tokens of meaning from people who've walked it before. This one from Charts has a 6-petaled rose in the center, which has lots of meaning. You can learn more about that from Vereditas, this organization that's down in the bottom corner. More on that later. So back to ways that you can use the labyrinth and why I think it's so fabulous. So your creativity is enhanced. You can walk the labyrinth. We're on the second list here if you want to follow along. You can walk a labyrinth with a clear intention. You don't have to follow any certain right or wrong. There is no right or wrong way to do it, okay? So you can have, let's say, I want to finish my book. I can walk the labyrinth every day or whatever and be very focused. What do I need to know? Just opening up. So you can use it. Some people say meditation is a way of listening to the divine, and praying is speaking to the divine. A labyrinth can be either one. You can be in a receptive state, listening, or you can be very focused. If there's a decision that you need to make, if you just need to really let go of a lot of things, you can use affirmations throughout it. And in general, on a health level, stress relief. And sometimes seated meditation is difficult for those of us who are have a very active mind. So it kind of lets the mind rest. You focus on the path. Now, one more thing I wanted to get back to about mirroring the journey of life is that a common experience in labyrinths is wondering if you're lost. How many of you have, you don't have to raise your hand on the Zoom, but I'll get the energy. Am I doing the right thing? The labyrinth is a great place to go for answers. So I would love to share a little bit about someone who deepened my understanding of labyrinths. So I went to my first labyrinth workshop when I was 19 years old. And when I was 29, so I was into them, but not, very actively seeking them out. Sip of water. And so, well, my sister had already introduced me to this website called labyrinthlocator.com. And yeah, I was into it. But back to the symbol of the spiral. So my friend and I were out hiking, and part of the trail was paved. And there were all these snails. And all these bikers were mindlessly running over these snails. And I'd never thought of snail. I mean, of course, I love everyone. Anyone who knows me knows I'm constantly rescuing worms and birds or whoever I can help, right? But I hadn't deepened into snails and how to help them. And so we were taking them off the trail. And guess what happened? I was so caught up in conversation, I felt a crunch under my foot. I stepped on spiral. And so I'm a person who figures things out, or attempts to. So I was like, I'm going to take Spiral home, and I will figure out how to help her, or at least, hold her in her transition and give her the power and strength that she needs if it's time to go to the other side. So little Googling, I learned what she needed to regrow her shell. For any of you doing this, contact me directly. I'll give you the details on how to help a snail. But it became a pursuit of mine, and I now know how to regrow the shells with a little calcium carbonate mixed with vegan canned cat food. More on that later. Sadly, on a vegan note, the way I learned this was the websites that popped up. Guess what? Escargot, people who eat snails. So Spiral, what I learned from her, science would tell you, science would say Spiral has no brain. She's not smart. Not so. She can learn. She did learn. So I had her in a plastic box with leaves with air holes in it. I was scared she could climb out. So there was a top. she would hide. At first, she always hid. Then she learned that I'm here to help her, and she would come out when I come in to feed her. And another snail that I rescued, I would feed her on a plate, and she wanted to sit with me. So they're very conscious. So don't let anything you learn from the so-called scientific world tell you that consciousness is not in everything. These are sentient beings, and we have the power to help them. So more about the spiral as a symbol. It's about going within. And many of us think of life as linear, and we think that we have an idea and we're just going to go do it. And then we feel upset and we feel regret. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not there yet. We're on some kind of mental timeline of I should have done this by this age, or I should, whatever it is, some kind of construct. We all want it. I think everyone raised their hand. They want to create change, but beyond that, we want to create total transformation, right? Yes, yes. Teddy, my dog, is saying yes. So what is really essential in order to create that transformation is to learn to go within and to trust the spiral cycle of life. Sometimes so this is how I see it. That you are going from point A to point B. There is an evolution occurring, but sometimes you have to go back to re-explore those layers. Sometimes there's a little circling, and that's good, because it is in the circling, in the cyclical developmental stages, you get to go back and polish. You thought you had it figured out. I thought I knew self-love so well, and I could, I loved myself so much. Oops, you know what? There's a little more self-love to learn. I thought I was so kind and forgiving, and oops, maybe there's a little bit more to learn. And so it's always this, you go back, you revisit, but you're still progressing. And that's the lesson of the spiral. Now, a little bit more about spirals in general is that your breath, when you inhale, let's all inhale together. Your breath is not following a linear path in and out of your trachea and into your lungs. Your breath spirals. Your blood is spiraling. Did you know that? So you see water going down a drain, it's circling, right? That is, the spiral is primordial part of who we are. And so that's one of the aspects of the labyrinth, is you really get to go in and find your center, because we all need to ground and center, right? So those are some of the aspects. Now I really want to highlight some resources for you, because this woman, Lauren Artress, she's written many books. You can find them on Amazon. She's the she's the founder of these first two websites. Labyrinthlocator.com is an amazing resource. I've had the joy of going to many, even private labyrinths. If you go onto Labyrinth Locator, people who are labyrinth enthusiasts have their listings, and you can call them, and you can even go to people's private homes. One of my primary goddesses I worship is named Artemis. I've been to someone's private garden who has an Artemis labyrinth. So labyrinthlocator.com. The truth is, though, that the whole planet is peppered with labyrinths. And that was what Lauren set out to do in the early 90s. And she's responsible for the labyrinth that's a replica of the Chart Cathedral at Grace Cathedral in San Francisco. So I want you all, if you're ready to go walk a labyrinth, and some of you probably already do, labyrinthlocator.com. It's always a great place to go, and you'll have fun exploring. And many, churches everywhere, some of them are open 24 hours. And I have one 3 minutes from my house in our local park. So now, if you want to learn more, because this is not a full introduction, there's so much more you can learn, vereditas.org. They have a free introduction, as well as more resources, more classes. And then I also want to thank Lars Howlett, and also invite you to learn from him. He offers classes, he can build a labyrinth for you. And his classes are also found on vereditas.org. So that's a little bit about labyrinths. I'm not sure how much time we have left, but I will turn it back over to you, Judy. Are you excited to go walk a labyrinth, Judy?
Yes, I think she's excited. She's muted, but she's excited.
Well, thanks. I wanted to take a second to mention that in the Labyrinth community, as I've been sharing with people about our workshop at the Vegan Forum and Retreat. By the way, can someone put the link again in the chat? I put it at the beginning, but people have been asking for it. You did it.
I did.
Okay. Everyone in the Labyrinth community who I'm in touch with, they're like, you're going to be there because it's one of the largest, one of the most, I don't know, people just love it. I think it's a famous labyrinth. And there's some really amazing speakers. Dr. Milton Mills, well, Gigi will be there, Judy will be there, Lisa will be there, Teddy, my dog, will be there. But one of the speakers who I really want to emphasize, who I just love, Dr. Milton Mills. He's my go-to resource to prove that humans are herbivores. Many people can prove that we're omnivores, but he'll be there. Keith Akers, he's a foremost scholar on Jesus as a vegetarian. Dr. Will Tuttle, Dr. Lisa Kemmer, lots of great people. So I really hope, I see some people in the chat saying they're going to join us, so I hope you do. Okay, back to Judy.
Yeah, I don't know how I got lost, but I did. I guess I went into the labyrinth on on Zoom or something. But I am back. So yeah, it is time to close, sadly, because we just have had so much more to hear from Gigi and Charlotte both. But Charlotte, real quick, you have a book coming out, The Vegan Paradigm Shift. And how can people find out when it's going to be available?
Well, I would love for everyone to please sign up for my email list at veganparadigmshift.com. That's the best place to go because veganism gets to the root of veganism. Let me just say for a moment about paradigms. Paradigms are a collectively held model of reality. That's Rupert Sheldrake's definition. So what we're up to here, those of us on this call, is we are really creating transformation. And veganism, there's many people creating positive change in the world. No offense, but I call it Band-Aid approaches. If you don't get to the bottom of the way that we relate to each other, to the very paradigm, we're not going to create true transformation. And veganism shifts the way we relate out of the dominator paradigm, the way of having every relationship, one is inferior, one is superior, right? That's created by consuming, that's co-created by consuming animal products and a whole culture that's a result of that. So we are now evolving, all of us, this community, and many worldwide, we are evolving into the partnership paradigm where we learn to partner with all life. And that's what the vegan paradigm shift is about. We are partnering, not only by partnering with all life and just not eating animals, does it make us healthier and is it nicer to animals? But what is happening is we are opening inner reservoirs of power that heretofore we have not been aware of, because as a culture, we've been stuck in the minutia of this mental disembodied logic where we're just going along to get along. And so I hope that you all can join me. If you sign up for my email list, you will get sneak peeks. I can't say for sure, to your question, Judy, when it will be released, but I hope you all join me there. Stay tuned. Blessings.
Great, thanks. So we're kind of out of time for questions, or do we have a little bit of time, Lisa?
Well, let's see. I noticed that somebody did raise their hand, and if you'd like, there's a couple ways to ask questions. You can either put it into the chat box, or there's a Q&A, which might be easier for us to find. So if you did have a burning question and you'd like to mention it, then you may want to put it there, and we'll take just a quick moment to see if there was anything here. Everybody's very excited and love these different presentations, and I have to echo that. It's been such a delight to hear the enthusiasm of both of our guest speakers today, from Gigi and Charlotte, and just you can get the feeling of what it might be like at that retreat. Just a lot of love and a lot of caring for our vegan community. And also, people who are curious are welcome as well. So it looks like, yes, people are excited to check out Charlotte's books and learn more about what Gigi's doing. So I think we're probably at a good time where what we could do is, we've got one little question here. How to get organized to promote veganism when there's so much resistance, like, for example, navigating the labyrinth. So, can a labyrinth be, in a way, a metaphor for vegan advocacy? That question may go to Charlotte.
Can a labyrinth be used as a form? Yes, it can help you find answers to organizing, figuring out how you want to do your advocacy. And one thought on that is Lisa created something called sustainable activism, which I'm a big believer in. Is there's lots of different ways, lots of different forms of activism. So I've done lots of different methods in the past, leafleting, more in your face, look at these graphic images. Now I try to reach people at more of a heart level. I don't want those confrontations. And anyway, the point though is that look for ways of doing things. Look for your form of advocacy where the energy comes back to you, where you're not drained. Consider your own personality and character traits. What do you enjoy doing? Are you more social? Do you want to do letter writing? Are you more of an introvert? I didn't quite see the question, so I hope that helps. But labyrinths can definitely help with that. And then the organization that Lisa is with and that helps support is IDA. There's so many vegan organizations. You could email any one of us if you need help organizing and finding vegans in your community. I'm not totally clear on the question, but
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Charlotte. I think that was
That was great.
excellent.
Right. And I wanted to piggyback on Charlotte a little bit. I think that the labyrinth is so important for all of us to even experience once or twice in our lives, even if you never experienced it before, that you should, because I've experienced it, and you can receive so many different spiritual messages through walking the labyrinth. And it also helps to balance you as well.
Oh, thank
wow,
you.
I didn't know that, Gigi, that you're a fellow labyrinth lover.
Absolutely. Love, love, love.
Oh,
I have a video of me walking the labyrinth. I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, excellent.
I love it.
yes. So many of us are public labyrinth lovers or secret ones. I have in the area where I live, there's lots of these little secret labyrinths that I discover walking on trails and other places. So it's lots of fun to find one. I think that there's a whole community of labyrinth lovers out there. So with that,
I'm sorry,
oh,
something I
please.
didn't mention is that the V code transformation will be coming out in about 2 weeks. So it's available at Veg Fest October 9th. That is my cookbook. My latest cookbook will be out. Yes.
Yay! Thank you so much, Gigi, for letting us know. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
How else, Gigi,
Thank
how else
you.
can they get it if they can't
They-
come to the veg?
Right. They will be able to purchase it here at the cafe or online at gigithevegan.com.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Gigi, for asking.
Great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to get one of those. Or
Thank
maybe
you.
several. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we're actually going to close with, I think Charlotte has a word gift for us.
Yes, we're all going to say this together to bless our time together and to bless the reality that we are co-creating a vegan world and heaven on earth.
Yes.
So if you just scroll up, we're going to say, does everyone see it? We'll just go ahead, and I want to note this is from Ava Park. It is finished in beauty. It is finished in beauty. It is finished in beauty, and it is done unto us according to our beliefs.
Lovely. Thank you so
Fantastic. Thank
much.
you.
That is a
Thank you, Charlotte.
beautiful way to close
Very
our
beautiful.
evening together. And we want to thank both Gigi and Charlotte for joining us and for sharing their love and their light with our community tonight, and also to look forward to seeing them all together in our retreat coming up.
I know.
And
Can't
that's
wait.
the Vegan Spirituality Forum and Retreat. For those of you who are listening in, it's at thespiritualforum.org/vegan retreat. So thank you to everyone who's also joined, the participants who are be part of our conversation tonight. So I want to thank everybody. We really, that's what it's all about. It's a gathering of hearts and minds, and we're so grateful to each of you for spending some time with us tonight. So thank you. Namaste vegan to everyone.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much for coming,
Stay
everybody.
vegan. Hugs
Thank
and
you,
love.
Gigi and
Thank you
Charlotte.
so
lots
much.
of hugs and love and
Big
vegan
hugs.
blessings. Vegan blessings to all. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.